Your second biggest risk factor for pancreatitis as a woman on a GLP-1 is very high triglycerides, which is much, much rarer than pancreatitis from gallstones. And this section is much shorter. Triglycerides are just one of the fats floating around in our blood, and they're actually essential. We use them every day for energy. But like anything in the body, when they get out of balance, that's when problems can arise. In the UK, it's recommended to have triglyceride levels below 2.3 millimoles per litre, and that's a non-fasting blood test. If it's a fasting test, the level is 1.7 millimoles per litre. When triglycerides are above 10 millimoles a litre, they can damage the tiny blood vessels in your pancreas, causing inflammation and pancreatitis. And the risk of pancreatitis increases progressively with serum triglyceride levels over 6.5 millimoles a litre. So it's recommended to have a baseline blood level done before you start your GLP-1. Because if you've got raised triglycerides when you start your GLP-1, it may put you at additional risk of pancreatitis. Now, the great news is that being on a GLP-1 has a positive impact over the longer term for your triglycerides, as well as other blood fats such as cholesterol. Perhaps you see the results within 3 to 6 months. So let's have a look at what's within your control to manage this risk. First of all, I'd have a blood test done either through your GP or privately to work out what your triglyceride levels are. If they're raised or you have any concerns, that's the time to speak to your GP. What you can do from a dietary perspective is lower your sugar intake and your alcohol intake, because these both increase triglycerides. Increase the fibre content of each meal, because this reduces your post-meal glucose and insulin spikes, thus reducing the more triglycerides. Keep saturated fat and trans fat to a minimum. Trans are mostly found in processed foods, and saturated fats is solid at room temperature, usually from animal sources. Increasing your physical activity, especially resistance training, because muscles burn triglycerides even when you're not exercising. And continue to have your blood levels checked so that you know what's happening in your body.